Hi, I'm Crystal from Hood and Dagger Productions in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and today I'm going to show you how I made a flameless lighter. Boop. Boop. These can come in handy because some theaters have a no flame policy, but in your show you might have someone who lights someone's fake cigarette. Okay, so start by finding the appropriate candle. This one here is not the best because it takes batteries, and batteries are bigger than the space you have available, so that won't work. So try to find a flameless battery operated candle that has a button size battery. So this one, for instance, I'll show you what I mean. It's a button size battery. So next step, once you find the right candle, and thrift shops will often have these for 50 cents, for $1. It's a great way to give a new life to something. Take it apart. So you can see this one, I gutted the innards, and then when you remove everything, then you'll have this this was the light bulb that came with it, and the switch that came with it was this guy here, this little baby switch, which is a little push button boop, boop, switch. However, I did not use these. As you can see, the wires broke off of this one right away. And the soldering on the light bulb here, I just didn't trust it that it would last the show. Instead, I just happen to have a bag here full of all kinds of wired electronics. I bought these a while ago. They're super cheap LED lights. These ones come pre-wired, and they even come with a resistor. If you can see the little bump right here, that's a resistor that regulates the amount of electricity that goes into the LED bulb. Next, you need a switch. So if the switch that came from your candle is good, the soldering, you're comfortable with it, you can use that. Or there's different switches out there. There's, button. There's this guy here is a back and forth. But the one I used here is goes on and off just like that. So now you have all your equipment. So next, you need to gut the lighter. So take it apart, make sure there's no more fuel in it. Take it apart, and then you remove all of the innards in here, all the felt. You see a screw here, remove that screw. There's going to be a little tube that goes up to where the flint is. Use your needle nose pliers to remove it. You might need to take like an awl and hammer it out. You need a hole there for the wiring to go through for the switch. And then here you'll see there used to be a wick in that part. So you remove the wick and the little bit that was holding the wick, and then you'll have a nice hole for the wire for the light switch. So I took some telephone wire that was going to be thrown out, and I stripped the sheathing, and because it's a button sized battery, you don't need a super thick wire. You have the light bulb, you have the switch, and then you have the battery. So from the light bulb, one wire will go to the switch and the other wire will go to the battery. And then you have an extra wire here that goes from the switch to the other side of the battery. So make sure you take good notes on the wiring of the candle before you dismantle it. Take photos so you can see where the wire goes from the light bulb to the battery. So make sure you take photos so you can mimic that exactly. And then, once you have your gutted lighter, you have your light bulb, you have your switch, you have your battery casing that comes right from the candle, then it's time to put it together. So the battery is down here, the wiring comes through where the wick used to be and goes back up where the flint used to be. Tip, before you put the battery in there and close her up, make sure you wrap that battery in electrical tape, because you don't want any of the connections on the battery to touch the metal casing. Or, I mean, it's a button sized battery, so you're not going to electrocute yourself, but you still don't want any shocks. Safety first. And that's a short summary of how to make a flameless lighter. You can do it too. Hope it was helpful.